Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Perspectives Unleashed podcast, where we discuss topics and share our perspectives across generations. And today we'll be talking about the importance of your circle and friendships. So let's talk about it. And
All right.
today I'm here with
Michael Davis, or AKA Mortgage Guy Mike.
Francesca Colicato, the founder and CEO of Gear for Greatness Incorporated.
Yes, yes. And also, our segment today, and as always, is sponsored by Gear for Greatness Incorporated, as well as Movement Mortgage, where we help you get into that next dream home.
And where we help athletes achieve their goals.
Amen, amen.
So
There we
let's
go.
segue into the topic about importance of your circle and valuable friendships.
Good
So
one,
to
good one.
start off, what do you like, what values do you try to focus on when trying to be select those people that will support you?
Well, your circle and who you choose to like again give your energy to is
Yes.
very important. Your circle influences you. They have that old saying, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
So your circle influences you. It also kind of makes people associate you with those who you hang around with. um, I kind of like, honest people,
Mm-hmm.
people who are going to be real, forthcoming, um, hard workers, people that, good family values, good Christian values,
Yes.
just, generally good people. For the most part, professionally, I do like to get with a lot of like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
people that hustle like I do,
Mm-hmm.
people that value their career or their work like I do. Um, just good, honest, hardworking people. What about you?
I agree as well. Like, I very value authenticity. We were talking
Hmm.
about it earlier, how I very value authenticity because sometimes it's hard to find those individuals in today's
Right,
society,
right,
especially with so many things going on with the world at once. And just to find those people that can be authentic and secure within themselves,
right.
I find so much value in that. And to have a person that will support you in all your endeavors and really be that backbone to be like, hey, you got this, and really make you confident within yourself. Because sometimes with the work that I do, I try to be, try to continually reach my goals, and support is such a big backbone of that. In order for me to attain it, I have to have a good support system, and finding those people that are authentic and really, really want the best for me, I value the most, especially when it comes to friendships in my circle.
Right, right. Well, what has been a time, if I can be so bold to ask you, where it didn't, benefit
Yes.
your circle
Yeah, so there was there
or benefit you? Your circle didn't benefit you. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I've throughout my life I've had friendships
Mm,
where it wasn't make me a better version of myself authentically, and just not make me a
right.
better version of self, period. So I found sometimes whenever I'm in that circle, when I was in that circle, I couldn't see through that. Like, I didn't realize like it wasn't making me a better person until pretty further along these relationships and
Hmm.
friendships that I had. And it's like clicks. It shows as soon as I left it how much I progressed as an individual. And goes kind of like comparison, like, okay, wow, like this wasn't really benefiting me in my best interest. And just that was a lot when growing up throughout the years I spent, my 17 years so far, and trial and error, and seeing who's really going to stay at the end of the day
Right,
whenever I try to do these specific things or do these goals, and trying to reach them, who stays truly throughout my journey.
right. And I can kind of echo that further along as
Yeah.
I've gone further along. When I was younger, I did have, you know, different. I still kind of hang out with some of the people, not
Mhm.
hang out, but associate with some of the people that I did when I was growing up that were in my little circle.
Mhm.
But we, all of us, didn't go the same
Mhm.
directions. I would, if I had gone the same directions as some of my circle, I would definitely wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
But you kind of pick and choose what, hopefully, as you get wiser, what direction and who, what
Mhm.
directions and who to keep around. I do know that, if you have people that aren't supportive, they
Mhm.
can really take down what your goals can be and what they
Yeah.
should be. You always, and everybody's not. One thing I found is the people that are most unsupportive are the ones who fear, I don't want to, I don't know if it's fear or if they just, because they can't do what you're doing, they look down on it,
Yeah.
and sometimes those are the people that are closest to you,
Yeah.
the ones that say, hey, I see she's trying to do X, Y, and Z. Deep down, I wish I could do that, but I don't have the courage or the know-how or the knowledge to do it. So I'm gonna hate on it,
Yeah.
because she's doing it. Um, you know, and that's human nature.
Yes.
We fear what we don't understand. So
Mhm.
when we fear something and we don't understand it, we shy against it. We hate on it. We talk down on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm proud of you for
Thanks.
recognizing that at an early age, because all of us don't do that.
Yeah, and bouncing off what you just said, like I came to that epiphany point where I'm like, okay, wait, they're actually against me. They're not going
Yeah.
for me. And to have that moment of realization, sometimes friendships can end on bad terms or they can just end because we grow. I have had friendships that haven't ended on the greatest terms, and I've had friendships that have ended just because we're simply going on our own paths,
Right. Right.
And as I got older and older, it became more prevalent because I live in an area where we grow up a lot in the same circle. We are from the same elementary school. We only split through middle school, but we all connect back to each other in high
In high
school.
school.
So we
Right.
all have
Right.
seen each other grow up. Like I'm not friends with the people I had in middle school just because we separated and went on our own journeys.
Right.
And like it's bittersweet too, but it's like sometimes it's needed in order to grow. And the
Right.
more and more I saw that, is the more and more I've understood me as an individual and me as who I am as a friend as well
Right.
in those settings and finding those people to help connect with each other. Because friendships and relationships I value so much, especially the ones that help me become a better person.
Mm-hmm.
I always make it a point, especially at the end of the year, all the administration and all of the teachers that helped me like succeed my junior
Right.
year, I always try to get back to them and like
Right.
always understand like, hey, like just you being you, like it helps me so much just to thrive to my day to day. So I always try not to take it for granted the relationships that I value heavily in my
Yeah.
life.
And they're gonna be forever changing.
Yeah.
Like you're 17 right now. I'm going on 47, and I can tell you that it's gonna change. It's always gonna change.
Yeah.
I always equate our relationships to like being on a cruise ship.
Mm-hmm.
People are constantly hopping on. You
That's a
kind
good
of hang out
analogy.
with them for a while, and then they hop off. They're in and out of your life. It's like and so you're gonna have those people. I know I can think back in life,
Mm-hmm.
and there's been periods of time where I've had certain circles where I would be with those people all the time. I'm
Yeah.
working with these people. I'm hanging out with these people. I'm doing things. Well, your job changes,
Yeah.
and now you don't see those people anymore, and now
Mm-hmm.
your circle changes again to a new group of people that you work in. And it's kind of like what you're saying. We all go to the same elementary, and then we
Yeah.
switch and go to different middle schools, and then some of us go to the same high school, some move away. So people are constantly hopping on and off, but you do need to, like you mentioned, value the important ones that do come in. Hear what I say and hear me now. The older you get, the less people get on your cruise ship. And so
Yeah.
you gotta really start valuing relationships,
I agree.
as you get older, because they're gonna come so much for you as you grow. But for me, not so much. So I really gotta value the ones that do hop on.
Yeah, and I'm bouncing off of that, like also too, since I'm still in high school, a lot of there's I always see in my school sometimes just friend groups all changing and changing, like through
Mm-hmm.
drama and stuff.
Right.
And they play a very big impact on like sometimes an individual's perspective on like kind of the world around him, like, oh, this is what's within because this is within my circle.
Right.
And then just like seeing it from a bird's eye view is just interesting to see how it always constantly changing
Right.
through interesting things or some events that will occur, and just to seeing that perspective, like we're going to be after 4 years we're all going to separate our
Yeah.
ways,
Yeah.
and there'll be a
Yeah.
small percentage of us that is going to still stay in contact. So that's why
Right.
in retrospective I see it whenever something event happens or drama happens, I'm like, in 4 years really is this gonna
Is
play
it
a
really
big
gonna
part?
matter?
Is it really gonna
Yeah.
matter?
Yeah.
And so that's why I always try to like reiterating back, like value those that are really helping me become a better version of myself.
Right.
So that's like I have so much attention to that. I always
Yeah.
try to give my 100% in those type of relationships and friendships that I have,
Right,
because it
right.
recharges me.
Yeah, and I was thinking earlier, and I was speaking to you earlier about some incidents that happened over the last couple of weeks, and as you're younger, your circle, your friends, they have a lot of influence on you. If your friends are mad and you have discontent going on, it affects you,
Mm-hmm.
more than it does when you get to be my age. When you get to be my age, you come to be more of well, you want to be
Yeah.
a person that people can depend on. You want to be a person that's going to be a good influence, a good role model, a good mentor, whatever that may be. And I've been in several situations where I'm called on to be that,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to you become a valuable person. You become a
Yes.
value to other people, and you always want to keep that in mind. One thing I heard this before, and I always try to live by this in creating people that I affiliate with,
Mm-hmm.
or when I'm dealing with somebody,
Yeah.
even on a basis of I just met you and do that. Whenever you meet somebody, always everybody has a piece of God in them.
Yeah.
So whenever you talk to somebody or you meet somebody, always make sure you're talking to that piece of them.
Mm-hmm.
But in the flip side of that, make sure they see it in you.
Yes.
You know what I
I
mean? And if
agree.
you can do that, if you can live by that concept, you will always be surrounded by quality people. Always.
That's a good one you just said. That was
Yes.
so
Thank you.
good.
Thank you.
I really like that message. I definitely agree as well. To see, for me, I always approach individuals always to see the good in them, no
Mm-hmm.
matter what circumstances or whatever I heard from them. Because when deep down, everyone has that good inside them, and always
Yes.
trying to see that within the individual and not always to revert to the words you heard like a
Right.
second ago. So I always try to approach it as that and just seeing them for who they are and not from what I heard.
Right.
And I always try to focus on that because sometimes rumors go around, talking goes around, and sometimes it can seg your way about an opinion on a person. But
Right.
I have had encounter situations like that where I've heard like not so good things about a person, and then I meet them like they're the greatest person ever.
Yeah.
So you
Exactly.
gotta trust your
Exactly.
word and sometimes not
Yeah.
others, and base it on how you feel, not what
Right.
others feel. And I've gotten as I gotten older to really value what I feel, because
Right.
what they might think, I definitely might not think as well, because we all have different opinions and values
Right.
as individuals. So always to approach it at that perspective has definitely helped me develop that circle I've been trying to aim for and look for
That's awesome.
day
That's
by
awesome.
day.
That's
So,
awesome.
segueing from life, how do you try to find your circle that helps you elevate your business and your progression in your workforce?
Well, right now, I've been growing my team. And so, in that process of growing my professional team, I had to go and recruit people that were like minded, that I could kind of see, a piece of the hustle that I have in me, that I could see it in them. I do coin myself a motivator. So if I could see a little piece of that light in you,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna see a lot of it out of me. So
Yeah.
hopefully that light that I see in you will shine brighter because you see it from me.
Yes.
Again, that goes to the fact of always try to be an inspiration. Yeah, somebody could have a different experience with a person, but that's because they saw different things in that person,
Mm-hmm.
and that person reacted with them different. It was a catalyst that reacted
Yeah.
different. But when I show you something, I'm going to try to show you the best of me so I
Yes.
can in turn get the best of you.
Yeah.
So I try to look at people who are willing to put
Put
themselves out
that
there,
in, that
man.
effort,
Yeah, put
to
that.
do that
Yeah,
the
put
great
that
thing.
effort out there. Show me that you want things out of life. Show me that you value life.
Mm-hmm.
Show me that you value other people. I love people. I love this thing that God created.
Yeah.
I enjoy what we have called life every day.
Yes.
Um, I don't know what's coming after it, but I look for people that have that, to
Yeah.
answer your question.
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah.
good like value to have, especially for the like for me, I always see friendships, relationships as a two-way street. can't
It
be
is.
one-sided, and to always, like you said, to bring out the best, for you to receive the best and for you to give your best is so important in a friendship and building that strong circle and support system. I feel like circle can emulate, just it's your support.
Right.
In order to, for me to function, I have to have that support sometimes. And even though if you don't have a circle, at the end of the day, you always have yourself and the person up there.
Yeah,
But even building that circle on earth too is so valuable as well.
it is.
And each step of your way, like to get those people that will really support who you are as an individual authentically, I just feel like
That's
it's
in us.
invaluable.
That's in us. God put that in us.
Mm-hmm.
We're built to, he built us to serve him. So, and to fellowship with people and
Yeah.
to, that's, to be alone is it's not a normal feeling for us because
Yeah.
we're a people that needs to have people.
Yeah.
And so, you want to foster that and you want to grow relationships. But again, be very selective on how you do that.
Yeah.
Be very selective on who can influence who you are because, that's, that's we're practicing every day
Yeah.
to be the adults and to be the person that we're gonna become. And so everything that we do, I tell my children all the time, and my wife, she lives on this thing that she tells me all the time, because I'll be like, man, I don't, I would get upset at times and be like, I haven't heard from such and such, or
Yeah.
oh, they had a party and they didn't tell me about it. So she's like, well, have you tried to call them? Did you
Yeah.
invite them over to you have to be a great friend in order to have great friends.
Yes.
You can't, it is very much a two-way street. Okay. You have to be a friend. You're going to give what you get. And so she always leans on that fact that, Mike, you have to be a good friend. When
Yeah.
somebody calls on you, if you can help them, because you never know when you're going to have to call on that person. And
Exactly.
so, yeah,
That's, I was always gonna ask that question, like, what is, how do you maintain these relationships
be a
and
good friend.
being a good
I
friend?
answered it.
So segueing into that, what's your biggest advice for kids my age
Mhm.
and finding their circle and making sure it's a quality one? What's your best advice you would give to
Just
me?
as I said, look for the good in them.
Mm-hmm.
When you see the good in them, speak to that. Make sure they see the good in you.
Yeah.
Make sure that the people that you surround yourself with, they elevate you. An eagle doesn't run around with chickens. Chickens
Yeah.
peck seeds off the ground. Eagles fly up high and they're majestic and they
Yes.
hang with eagles.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. If you want to fly high, choose those that are going to fly. If you want to stay in the dirt, go with a bunch of chickens that are going to be pecking in the dirt. You have to try to,
That's such a
notice
good
your
analogy, but I don't know
surroundings.
why it's so
Yeah.
funny.
Notice your surroundings
Yeah.
and then engulf
Yeah.
yourself in that.
Exactly.
And that's my advice for you guys. Don't let everything influence you. Don't let everything be something you latch on to. Make it be quality.
Yes,
You
quality
know,
over quantity.
quality
Oh my
over
gosh,
quantity.
I don't know why I didn't say that earlier. I'm so big on that. Quality
Yeah.
over quantity.
Yeah.
I'd rather have two exceptional, authentic friends
Right.
than a whole batch of people that don't,
Don't mean anything.
don't mean anything.
A whole
So,
entourage of suckers.
yeah, I
People
was
that
gonna.
are just
Oh
draining
gosh,
you.
that's what I was gonna say. My advice, but now that you mentioned that, I don't know. I didn't say that earlier. I'm
Yeah.
so big on quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Not even just in relationships, just in life period, in
Yeah.
anything. And that's a big thing too, guys. Quality
Value
over quantity.
yourself.
Yes.
Value yourself. If one thing that I really believe, if people knew their value,
Mm-hmm.
then you would force other people to respect that value. So you have to value yourself first.
Yes.
As long as you value yourself, you respect yourself, you're gonna demand others to respect you.
Yeah.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how that's just how it
is.
works.
Human nature.
And always know that you're a valuable person.
Yeah.
And if you have no one else, you got God.
Yeah.
You can go talk to God every single day. He's gonna elevate you, propel you, put everything in perspective perspective for you,
Mhm.
be the best friend you can ever have, and then guide you to be around the people that you should be
Mhm.
around.
Yeah.
So that is my biggest, that's the only advice that
Mhm.
I can give you, just quality. You said
And
it best,
yeah,
quality over
and for
quantity.
kids like my age struggling to find that group, because I know
Hmm.
there's some kids out there struggling to find those group of circle and friends that will help
Right,
them become
right.
the best version of themselves. Patience is a virtue. Like
Yes,
sometimes it may not be the time as of right now, but don't give up. Over time, you will find those people.
you will.
Over time, it
You
may
will.
not be in that area, because for me, I live in League City. It's like it's not a small city, but we're still
Right.
kind of confined in the area. And I've been able to find friends from all over the world now,
Yeah.
and it just gave me that new perspectives. There's so much people out there
Right.
that will have the same mindset as you. So
Right.
don't be so limited within what you have as of right now. Just you're gonna see the other big picture, and that there's so many other people out there. So don't lose hope, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely,
Yes.
guys.
But today was a great
It
conversation.
was. It was. I hope we as always, I hope we help someone out there.
I know.
Um, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Those of you that do, we really, really appreciate it.
Yes.
We do this to help, to be motivators, to be innovators, to give you something that we know somebody may need to hear this today.
Yeah.
I lean on the fact that every step is already lined out. God is He makes our steps every day when we wake up. We
Yes.
just following the motion. So
Uh-huh.
you come, to, and most of the time, listeners, it's my co-host here that comes up with our topics, and I just go with it, and they're always spot on.
Thank you.
There are always things that I feel that the people need to hear.
And like you
So
just said, there's obviously a reason why I'm in this chair and doing this. So,
right, right,
hopefully this
right.
definitely inspires someone. Hope you learned
Thank you.
something today.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next episode.
All right. Thank you guys, and y'all have a great week.
Yes.